go. Crash and flow.
Happy birthday, brother.
Oh, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. Yeah. I think I'm still gonna do a dinner with the friends because everyone got to do one.
Yeah.
Even like Hamid, who wouldn't have planned it, but his wife did it, and it was just like a celebration for him. I'm like, you know what? This is nice. I haven't celebrated since like for 4 or 5 years. I haven't had my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I've celebrated when Farah graciously includes me in your birthday.
Hey, come on, don't say it that way.
No, but I love it. Like I feel so included and in the thing, and that she always thinks about me. So that's very nice of her. I very much appreciate it. But like, I think I want a dinner, like a sushi dinner for myself, right? Dinner. Just everyone come over. Not over to my place, a restaurant, and then after we'll do that. I found a nice place, so I'll sort that out for this week. But yeah, do you you don't do any gift exchange, do you?
I haven't done any gifts in exchange in like. I know you. I can literally count the things I've been given is how few gifts exchange I do.
Really, not even like before when you were like.
You got me a Scott Pilgrim book set.
No. I mean, not me. I get like your parents buy you anything? Or
oh,
like
my parents normally give me money. They give me like it was 50s and became hundreds.
Yeah,
and then there became stuff for my kid. So
right,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
No, I don't. You know, my brother and I will do like he'll give me underwear or something. He knows I'm running because he's like, you keep borrowing mine. Here's underwear.
Stay out of my drawers.
Exactly. It said $12 on it from Walmart.
Right.
But yeah, no, not really.
Not really, eh? Yeah. It's always been a thing for us.
Nice.
My parents and whatnot. I would always get that year.
Yeah.
The big gift was that year. So like when I was a kid growing up, it was time for a new bike. Mm-hmm. So I would get a bike.
Nice.
For Eid. So there was always something. I think for me that's really important. You want to have something special for Eid.
Yeah.
And really, hopefully Allah does bless us with a kid. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna accept like a gift from me to the kid. Like you're gonna have to do both.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do both.
Unless
my parents get really old and they can't do it, no problems, right? It is what it is.
But you know they're listening.
But yeah, you're gonna have to do both. If that means either one of us gets less,
I know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's gotta have to be both.
You're like, I love it. You're like, just so you know, I'm still a baby. All right? And I'm just letting you know I got a beard and a bald head, but
still
this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So you get 2 gifts.
You know what? Thing is that it doesn't even take. So this year's gift. I'll give you an example with this year's gift. So this year's gift is my mom just took me to Uniqlo. Easiest shopping to go to Uniqlo. I don't even shop anywhere else actually.
Uniqlo, everything's just built for like, hey, are you kind of not overweight? That's perfect. Like everything fits so well there.
It's so good. And then the thing is that like I normally have problems with like sleeves that are too short or pants that are too like the hem doesn't go. Mm-hmm. Dude, everything over there. I don't know what they're doing with their template. How is it that it's satisfying me and someone else who doesn't have orangutan arms?
Right.
But it is happening.
Yeah.
And everyone's happy. Anyway, so me and my mom would go over there. You just choose one of every color of whatever things that fits well.
Bro.
All right. And then you just throw it into the bin haphazardly. It like adds up all of the stuff and away you go. So I got that, and then after my mom went to a dollar store and bought me a Lego. And
your mom knows.
Yeah.
This kid's gonna need a Lego.
Which was the Mars rover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a great Lego.
Nice.
And then I had some stuff. No, this one was like it was a more basic kit. Okay. Yeah, no, actually it does. Yeah. If you twist the arm that picks up the soil samples and whatnot, that moves around.
Jeez, guys.
And then obviously it wheels around and stuff like that. So yeah, I got that. Medea incidentally bought me Lego as well. Mercedes Formula One car.
Oh. See?
Yeah.
Bro.
I don't need much.
You're the happiest kid you just want kid stuff.
This is great. I freaking love it, dude.
Yeah. If they got you what the equivalent of an RSP would be, or like clothes to a kid, I mean, they're giving you toys, man. This is good.
I mean, that's what I would like.
My kid got went to my mom's first and got a Velociraptor that walks. Mm-hmm. Most dinosaurs are on wheels. Mm-hmm. Because who has time to make something walk?
Yeah.
This thing walks.
Nice.
Creepy as heck.
Nice.
It's about 1.5 feet tall, and it's walking around the house.
Right. Is this the one that has the sign that says Eid Mubarak on it?
No. My wife was. My son came out and just started smacking each hat off of the dinosaur. Like, what's anyways. And then we went to my mother-in-law's. We got a flying dinosaur. Mm-hmm. So obviously they're still doing eat the right way for
the
kids.
Yeah.
And they,
Man,
my dad gave me an Esso gift card.
Nice. I mean, it's
And he said the price of gas going up on Monday. And he's a gift card.
that is such an uncle or dad thing to do.
Dude.
My dad is like upon walking into the door. He said, "Did you fill in gas?" "No, I haven't. Tomorrow's going up 3 cents."
Yep.
Leave now. Come back.
Dude, that's dad talk. That's real dad talk.
Leave now, bro. Alhamdulillah, I've moved to a new place. Therefore, I'm much more sensitive to costs and what's happening to my foundation. Like I've become an uncle.
Yep.
And it's getting worse or better, I guess, whatever way you want to look at it. But I still never look at price of gas because, like, I'm a car guy.
Yeah.
And
you go to Shell.
And exactly. I never look, and it's not even like I have to like try to avoid it. Like when I go to the movie theater, I try not looking at a trailer. Gas doesn't exist for me. When I go into a gas station, it almost feels free because I never look.
What are you gonna do with it, right? It's how much are you even trying to save? That's right. Coughs.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I never look.
Yeah, man.
That started with my previous car, which was horrible on gas.
I think they're so expensive now that like it's not the same that it used to hit a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, eggs are triple what they used to be 3 years ago.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are we even like? Food, everything else is so insane.
Yeah, it really is.
So
So the market took a downturn.
a slap in the face. The market did. Also, nobody know how the market does anything, right?
Right.
Like,
no one knows. And then, also there was this guy, a guy who was covering the news. Is like, all right, so the Koreans, the Japanese, and the Chinese are saying, hey, you want to work together because an idiot over there is just messing everything up. Right. And they're like, did you see the picture they took? Yeah. And they're just they're like shaking hands like crisscross like this.
That's so funny. Also so Asian. Like, yeah. But if you can get those people who have killed each other a lot, there's a lot of bad blood.
Yeah.
If you can get them to work together, that's pretty wild.
It is interesting what is happening. I don't know what's happening.
I just know it's all on fire.
Yeah.
All I know is the whole thing is on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. You should see like at like work too. It's fun. It's not fun, but like, just no one knows what's happening, right? Because like it's not clear. It's the most like, when you were in high school and then there was a teacher who was ineffective of explaining what they want in the assignment. Mm-hmm. Especially like it was like math or physics or whatnot, where they're like, just explain clearly. Why is this like there's a level of ambiguity that we have to work through and also do this assignment, right? This is what the tariffs feel like for everybody. Where they're like, is it on or is it off?
So
and
funny.
Who pays it?
Bro.
Who bears the cost? Is it us? Is it China? Is it better for China? Is it better for us?
Yeah, everybody's a certified paralegal all of a sudden trying to...
And everyone's saying a different thing?
Yeah, I'm like an intern at JP Morgan trying to figure out, like, what's happening? Are we alive? Are we okay? We are? Why? It doesn't feel like we are.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, that's how we learn about things, man. It's like I learned a lot about knees when I tore my ACL,
Yeah.
You're like, what is a genocide? Let me go,
Yeah.
That's how we learn about things.
Yeah. The asinine thing with the G word is the fact that like, they're like, well, no, that's not the right definition. Like now they go on semantics of like the definition. Like, no, I believe. For me, the word is.
Right. It's just like, well, you tell me the dirtiest word you have for what's happening, and if it's not like apartheid, something crazy, then I know, like that's a good conversation. What is this in your language?
Right. Yeah.
Tell me. They're like scruffle. I'm like, get the. Like if they say anything other than something really bad.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle.
It's
in the Middle
snafu.
Yikes, dude.
Yikes, dude. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude. It's a yikes, dude. I'm like, I agree with you. This is totally a yikes, dude.
It's a hard yikes.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think that would be the safest term. They would put like, yikes? And then they would say, I just said yikes. And they're like, no, I meant yikes. Anyways.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so you're hitting the stage once again.
I am. It's been... This has been 2 solid months of not doing stand-up. That's the longest since like literally the first time I started.
Right.
So yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because it's 15 minutes, which is a healthy. That's a good.
15 minutes is a lot for your first time going back, right?
I think so because like you can do 7 and 10s, and those shows exist. So like 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 15 minutes is like all right. You're gonna have to do some of your. It makes you have to like I'm gonna try some stuff out. It's 15 friggin' minutes on a Friday, right? Have some fun with it. But it's fun to like just experience how you feel. I don't get too uppity or downy about it.
You're right.
It's just like, oh, this is a new excitement, you know?
Yeah.
But then the problem is like, all right, how much new stuff do you want to do considering you haven't done this in 2 months?
Right.
And then it's just like, all right.
This is it. Well, it's not titled "Say It Works" on stuff, right? So like,
it's called 3 Headliners. So it's just like me, 2 other headliners, and 2 other people that I don't know very well.
Yeah.
So
Hisham's not there yet.
No, it's a guy named Zulfikar. He's really funny, and then Luke, friend of the podcast. Luke's like a headliner now.
Oh, good for him.
He does festivals and shit. He flies around.
It's crazy. He's the tall, bald guy.
He's the bald guy. He's like, he's not very tall, but he's...
Oh, okay. In my head, I guess.
He has... This guy I've seen so much, but like, he has some bits. I'm just like, that's just funny. There's no... You can show that to anybody. They're going to laugh their balls off at that.
Right.
Yeah, really... Some people like impress the crap out of you over time.
That's great. Well, good for him.
Good for him, man.
Did you get to watch the Bill Burr special yet?
I haven't seen Bill Burr or Andrew Schultz. I've seen a lot of reels.
Okay, yeah, me neither actually. So I guess we'll pin it for the next time.
The reels for the Andrew Schultz one are they're so good.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah,
they're really good.
I'm hearing it's all the same stuff that I heard when we went to go see him at the Air Canada Center.
Maybe he works on it for a while.
Yeah, which doesn't mean that it's bad. It was great.
It was good at the Air Canada Center.
Yeah.
He like tours the crap out of something before releasing it.
He does. You know what? I'm okay with that too. Right? You know, it's fine because like that show was a fun show. It wasn't like he was looking at his notebook or anything. Like it was already past the point of trying it out. It was just honing the joke, which is, you know, I can appreciate that. I'm okay with paying an arena ticket if you're at the honing stage because
moving bits around.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. Right. I'm just not okay with you taking a swing.
Like a whole premise. If you're working on tags, fine. But like, I don't know if this is gonna. What else?
Chris Rock.
And then actually, it's so funny how we hold it against him because we do. Like,
yeah, we really.
I never talk bad about comedians, but I'm like, do I pay $375 for what else?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's insane. Also, I don't even know if his last special was all that good. If we watched, did we watch the final version of it? Yeah. Okay, we did. All right.
I did.
His brother seems to be doing pretty good too.
Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's grinding out here.
I think so.
Yeah. He's always going to be under the shadow of like Bigger and Blacker.
I know.
He's not even under the shadow of the current Chris Rock, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Like that doesn't matter to me. I don't feel like Chris Rock is the comedic giant that he once was. Mm-hmm. But like those two specials will go down in like history as some of the greatest specials of all time.
Yeah, they really are. If you listen to them, if you sit down and listen to them, you're like, these are some fantastic specials.
Yeah, so he's gonna be underneath that, but still, you know, it's all good.
I like to revisit some of those, and then sometimes you're like, this is silly. You know, this is not genius. This is just kind of fun.
Or like shock value stuff is not fun either.
Yeah,
like if you're like it was shock. If it was a subject matter that was quote unquote shocking at the time, it's not fun just to listen to it. Like I'm not here for buttons to be pressed.
Yeah, Andrew Dice. I don't know if you listen to Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah,
like man, it's so odd now.
Yeah,
you're like, man, this is in Madison Square Garden. And they're laughing.
Okay. Yeah, I think because everyone was like, let's get our buttons pressed. What other weird stuff is he gonna say off the bat? Now it's just like, yo, you want to say these jokes, or you're just gonna yell out?
You could squeeze those in a joke. At least surprise me.
Yeah,
with the stupidity.
Yeah. Well, you know. All right. So we'll put a pin on that. We'll watch it because we definitely should. Because I'm starting to. I don't want to. I'm getting too much ruined by just reels. Thankfully, my Instagram algorithm is more of like, you like comedy and Palestine, and that's all that's kind of feeding me for now. So I'm not getting too much of the other stuff, but yeah,
nice.
I do see a lot of people commenting on like Bill Burr's stuff, and they're saying this is our era's George Carlin, which kind of makes me happy.
Sure,
like I would like to see someone step into that thing, and I would like to see, because there was this. Something that happened in stand-up comedy where the comedians were getting popular. They were getting the money, and then they were showing up. They were showing up to things that normally they didn't show up in. They normally stayed home, stayed anxious, right? Abused drugs, and then showed up on stage, right? But like as it became more popular and everyone got podcasts and everyone was just, they were starting to make money in various ways, and they're showing up for UFC fights now and everything else. They're becoming their own little celebrity. When that happened, there was a migration of what I wanted, or not wanted, but my expectation of stand-up comedy was always that this was a man by himself that was pointing at the things that don't make sense, the incongruencies of, social structures, your government, your country, anything, and make an observation about it, and then interlink it with a joke.
Right.
That's my general expectations for comedy. Obviously, Mitch Hedberg doesn't do like that type of things, but you get what I'm trying to say. But as the podcasts started to pick up and they became their own celebrity, instead of being the person that stood above it and be like, no, I make fun of everything, right? Everyone can get these jokes. I don't align myself to anything. I'm just the guy who makes with a microphone, and this is my art. It started going where like, let's go hang out with some rich dudes. Let me go and rub shoulders with, what's it called? Dana White, and then some other politicians and whatnot. And then when I started to see that happen, then you started to see like a lack of them commentating on the current affairs of the time, right? Because when they were closer to whatever like government official or the president even, or whatever the case may be, you started garnering your audience was part of that type of thing. Then they didn't want to start talking about the Republicans as much, or you didn't want to talk about enter any like any type of example along those lines. And it's good to see Bill Burr is remained. I'm a comedian. I'm going to point out the incongruence, the weirdness of the world. This is what I do. I make fun of it, and I still stay. And he stayed in that lane, even if potentially that would mean that he wouldn't be invited to like the Joe Rogan podcast as often because he's starting to say X, Y, Z. And I'm not saying that's exactly the case, but that's one of the few, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I was watching his Obama bit about Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
like I got to stop hearing from the first lady, And that's not a political bit. And like it is in a way, but it's totally not.
Yeah.
Right? He makes a completely salient point.
Yeah.
Now, most comedians, I don't think generally ever talk about politics. Right?
They may see, the thing is that potentially I think I understand maybe what you're saying is that they're like, in general, they're not over there doing, it's not like Dave Smith, right? He's not doing political thing, but like
we can't name 6 comedians that talk about politics.
Fair enough.
Like,
but what I mean to say is that like, but what I mean to say is that like there is just general politics, right? And then that's what your country is doing. And if you make fun of the government or the president, or you have presidential bits or whatnot, those things kind of like it's part of your like ecosystem. Now it doesn't mean that how hard you're going to lean into it. Like I'm not expecting everyone to go in hard like a Samuel Bate or whatnot, right? But I have seen there are like when it's safe, quote unquote, for them to dunk on whatever president or whatnot, they're willing to take they're willing to take it.
Clinton, it was like more about Clinton stuff. It wasn't like policy.
Monica Lewinsky. Yeah.
With Bush, it was more about Bush. It was really sometimes about the Iraq War, but it was mainly just ripping on a Dumbo.
Which, incidentally,
I
don't want to take you too far off the point, but like, have you heard when George Bush, like there are speeches by George Bush when he seems hella sharp. Like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like like there was something that happened where he became stupid.
That's a great ploy. It's like,
right?
Oh, hey man, I'm just dumb. Donald Rumsfeld makes me do stuff. Right. It's how you leave, right? It's quite a cover.
Yeah,
it's really very believable with his vice president.
Yeah,
who's just running oil industries.
Yeah,
they're like some comedians. I don't see comedians really talk about politics. And I do agree with what you're saying.
Maybe not in the bits, but like on the podcast.
On the podcast, yes. I can agree with that. I think you talk about everything on a podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like
what I'm impressed with always with Bill Burr is that he does like he makes a point in a bit, like in a stand-up special.
Yeah.
And like so much can be just said in fun in a podcast. That Michelle Obama bit is like that bit is
my God,
so
dude.
funny. So funny. And this one is so funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's a great point about killing children.
Right.
Let me tell you a joke.
Right, exactly.
It's,
I don't want you to punch through the baby.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's good. And also, not particularly, like, I haven't heard it before. Like, and I listen to a whole lot of Palestinian stand-up these days.
Yeah.
Sami Obeid. What's your take on Sami Obeid?
It's funny. He's got, and my sister went to see him live in Austin about a month and a half ago before Ramadan.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
He does last 20 minutes just like, hey, give me a subject.
Yeah.
He does one of those.
And he turns it into a pun. That's kind of like his
sometimes
thing.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. He was like a lot of the times when he's interacting with the crowd.
Yeah.
It'll be like one or two topics,
yeah.
and he'll say something funny for both of them, but like his big thing is being able to flip a pun at the end of it. So he's pretty talented with that. Also, he's got some math jokes because he was an engineer.
Yeah.
Or no, he's a math major, right?
He's a math major.
Yeah. And so those are fun too. Every once in a while, get a math.
He's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a working comic. It's just a lot of jokes about one subject. What you want the man to do, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I mean, he is Palestinian, right?
Yeah, you're gonna go see a Sami Obeid show. He's not gonna be like, here's all these puns.
Right.
Well, maybe he is.
I mean, the first half, maybe you get a bunch of like math puns.
I think you probably want to work the Palestine stuff out just because, like, all right, this is what you came to see. Let me
make you laugh a bit. Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yeah, here you
first.
Let me play the hits.
Yeah.
And then let me try some stuff out. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd go see him. I'm sure it's very affordable.
I'd go see him too.
He was here less than 3 months ago, dude.
Oh, okay.
He did like a drag queen bar.
Nice.
On Church Street.
Okay.
No one's supporting Palestine more than the drag queens, by the way. I don't know.
I think they like the colors.
I think they like the colors. You know what they like? They're big into injustice, dude. That's all it is, really.
Yeah.
They're just big into like, hey, this is an injustice.
Yeah.
That's pretty commendable,
I mean,
there's nothing to gain.
Killing children is not a great look. We want to be against that. So that's good. Congratulations on being on the right side. Have you seen any of that TV show Mo?
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Okay, so I'm watching the first episode. Okay. I mean, first season. It's a little weak. It's a little slow. It's a little weak. Yeah, apparently, like whatever the newest season is, like I won a Golden, I think, or an Emmy or something like that. So I think it really picks up. I think I think that even you could tell by the pilot and what was like the storylines they were trying to build out over there is that they had so little budget. They didn't even. They start making characters in episode 3, 4, 5 because they got to start filling in where does the sister come? Like they never mention the sister in the first episode, right? Because the thing is that like, hey, you're pitching a show, you got a pilot, you got to just shoot with what you got, right? This is the cast that you have available to you, and even the storyline is not even written that deep. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but like when you watch episode 2, 3, and 4, and it's starting to build out some characters. But they were just adding a bunch of them because, like, now that they got some funding, they gotta it's on a shoestring budget, no doubt, right? Jeez. And so they had to start shoving people in, and then I think what happens is that for a show like that, because you're up front, your budget is so small, it takes longer for you to coalesce into a full-fledged show. Mm-hmm. So maybe the first season's gonna be kind of like a gimme. And then you work into your second season where you're actually going to be able to, because you're a known quantity, right? So you can start off kind of strong. Ooh. So I think I should stick it in.
Yeah.
But
that's so funny. But if it's going to win a Golden Globe eventually, you're like, all right,
you should watch it, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to support it. It was the first bit is kind of, it's the same thing like White Lotus. Have you watched any of White Lotus?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's like a big hubbub about White Lotus, right?
Oh.
Episode, I think it's on season 3.
Okay.
Man, I watched the first season. I'm like, what is this? What's this show about? Why am I here? 6 episodes in. I'm like, you could have done this entire show in 3 episodes. What is going on? The main premise of it is the White Lotus is a all-inclusive resort for really, really rich people.
Okay.
And then it's the story of various people at the resort and their lives and then stuff happens essentially that kind of like interlinks everyone. And then the next season is a new White Lotus at a different location. So the first one was somewhere in the Caribbean, I think, and the second one is in Italy.
You think they're gonna like eventually Road Rules Real Worlds and bring them together with like?
I mean, maybe they should. There's only one character. There's only 2 characters from the first season that shows up in the second one. The rest of them don't. But like, I'm interested to see how they would how they're gonna be able to link up the things. But apparently, a very good show as well. But I guess I just gotta wait until it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mo, it's support the.
I will for sure.
Are you watching it on
Netflix?
Okay, good. Just watch it somewhere where it's tracked. Sometimes stuff is on like an IPTV box that's like also on Netflix. I'm like, why am I watching this on IPTV box with no captions?
Yeah, dude. It's like IPTV is great, right? Yeah. But the start where you left off and no captions, those 2 things. If IPTV can figure those 2 things out. By the way, I heard that it's backed by the cartel.
The IPTV box?
Yeah.
I hope so.
No. I think that's what Zio is telling me. Zio's telling me there's a full-on like organized crime syndicate that backs and facilitates the IPTV. And the only way that you can get a contract is like this. It's like shenanigans that are happening.
It's so funny because they don't even need to do any of this. They're like, let's also do this. Cocaine and this.
Yeah, why are they diversifying?
I know. Into a technology, like something that's not related to what they do at all. Right?
Yeah.
Gosh, we can make spices. How about illegal internet TV?
Dude, yeah. I think I told you this already. My Instagram algorithm started to show me like cartelgram, and it's essentially just posts of like found footage of cartel people. Like they're either on the boat in the speedboat and they're going, or like they're in the middle of a jungle mixing the
I've
things
seen some of that.
like barefoot.
Yeah.
And then like the caption is always, "We offer well-paid internships, great summer jobs, but no extended like health benefit." I know I know it's for a joke, but like honestly, like. So every once in a while, I've looked at the bank account and I've looked at like, I'm doing my Excel sheet.
Yep.
And then I pick up my phone to distract myself.
Yep.
And then Cartelgram shows up. And I'm like, how much does a drug mule make?
How much do they make? I'm not saying, you're just saying how much.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
I started rewatching Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I pulled down like 70,000 on the first batch.
Yeah, it seems like, how much drugs can I get in my butthole? How much? I'll do a colon cleanse. Make some space in my large and my small colon. Do you have a large and a small colon?
Yeah, no, we have a large and small intestine, but we don't have a large and small colon. I think you
yet.
just have a colon.
If you put enough drugs in that beak,
it's good.
You get some variations.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, money's a fun thing.
Yeah. Anyway, what do I have for on Instagram? What are we at? We're at 27 minutes over here. Let me see if I
see those videos and those look real. Or
no, they're real. They're real.
Have you seen the videos of people smuggling across the border?
Sorry, hold on a second. Let me close that. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you seen the videos of people like crossing the border?
Yeah. One was like one of them is like the truck is a lumber truck, right, with just lumber stacked,
right.
But actually, the lumber stack itself is hollow, and they got people on the inside. But, sometimes it's like, you can kind of see how they'd be able to figure out. Yeah. Bro, this lumber stack looked like lumber stack. Yeah. Like, even, like, they stuck out in different... Yep. Like, it wasn't, like, perfectly, like, edged properly. Like, it looked... I was like, man, someone must have snitched for them to be able to find that.
Yeah.
So how hard is their life that they're willing to go through that?
Bro.
You get killed on the way there. You could die on the way to the United States.
Yeah, I saw one where this... dude who was smuggling people by ground had a blanket that kind of mimicked a bush. So this light would be coming and they would dive under this blanket. And he'd be like this, he'd be like, shh.
So like the Hobbit?
Yeah. And then then Saruman's eye would pass. He'd be like, run. I was like, bro, this is what this guy does?
Yeah.
He plays hobbits.
Yeah. Dude, that's a risky game, eh?
That is a risky game because I've seen that movie. And you think it's over, but it's not over.
I'm not too sure why they can't find them easier.
What do you mean? Like just heat-seeking?
Yeah, because no, don't shoot missiles. Because they don't want to give this
No,
government.
I mean like any ideas?
Because like I was watching this, I was on the Russian Instagram.
Okay.
And it was like a couple military dudes.
Okay.
And they were saying how like you should never pee on patrol, or if you pee on patrol, you gotta pee in a pit or something. And they're like, here's why. And they got a guy who's out in the forest.
Oh my God.
And they make him pee while they look at him through like infrared. And you can see like human is lit up in the spot where his pee is at.
That's so funny.
I forgot what else was there. There's like also don't like, there was a couple other reasons why not to do it. But I'm like, yo, this footage is so crisp.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the United States don't have drones that just like patrol and see? Like it looks like I could.
It looks like you can figure this out.
It's so easy to be able to see where the white dots are.
Yeah.
Right?
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
So why is it that so many are getting, like, are you letting them in? I feel like you might be letting them in.
I think you might be.
Because
to have a problem,
you could have geosynced satellites that don't move. They consistently look at the same spot in the earth. 24/7. Yeah. And then any movement will then put on an alarm. Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is that, like, is it so big and vast that they just, it's not feasible to do? Or is there some sort of measurement that's happening here?
Yeah. It is extremely big and vast, though.
It's not as big as Canada or United States, right?
Yeah, but people aren't trying to go back. The quality of life is similar between these two countries.
Yeah.
So it's very different.
Have you seen some of the border crossings in middle Canada?
They just look like places. They just look like a normal.
It's just like a road, and it's a kiosk. The kiosk is unmanned. Like, there's no one there, and then there's like a little thing where you're supposed to like hold your passport to the kiosk. It takes a picture, and then you just drive through.
I like it.
That's how. I mean,
don't treat me like a Mexican. I would be so upset if you treat me like a.
I mean,
and they would be like, "Are we treating this guy like a white guy?" I'm so upset we're treating this guy like a white guy.
It's true. Both cases.
It is true.
All right. Let's see what I could possibly show you. That would be fun.
All right.
And then after we will go. Let's get an appreciation for what a tiger sounds like.
Let's do it. Oh, that's the time.
See?
This dude thinks he's just getting a nice video. This cat is making plans. It's like, if I ever get loose, it could be 1 million people. I'm coming for you, Gregory.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
Again?
Yeah,
this cat's gonna kill this guy if he ever gets a chance, based on just this moment.
Yeah, 100%. Do you remember that story of those 3 dudes at a zoo that were instigating? They were like teasing and throwing pine cones at a tiger. Tiger came loose and then mauled 2 of them.
Nice. See, it's so hard to root for a tiger. I don't want to, but you've seen people acting stupid around animals.
Yeah.
They're like, I wish that tiger was straight. Yeah. I hope that monkey does get in that car. What happened? You see people feeding the monkey at African lion safari?
Oh, they do?
Oh my God, Indians. They can't help themselves. You know what it is?
Is it their god, though?
Monkey. Huh?
Is it a god?
You know what? That's a good point.
Yeah, it might be.
My mistake. You know what?
Yeah.
If you think your god is outside and you're here to visit it.
Also, is he a god if he requires your food, though?
I think probably the way religion works. Yeah.
You shouldn't have to feed your god. God should be able to feed you.
No, I mean, like God gave you the ability to feed yourself and it, right? Like you could spin this. He gave you free will, so you could feed God too. At the African lion safari.
What did they give? Have you seen what was their
No,
offering?
you're not supposed to give them anything.
No, I understand.
But, anything, chips, banana, very common.
I mean, banana seems
it makes
like
sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Chips, half a muffin. Half an apple.
Like a Tim Hortons.
It's just like, what do we have? What do we have?
A fruit explosion.
Oh, yeah. There's Timbits. Timbits have definitely gone into.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It's an unusual place.
Yeah.
The African lion safari. Oh, my son calls it the friggin'. He goes, the friggin' lion safari? And we're like,
why?
What'd he say?
Oh, because
And
he can
then-
say African.
Exactly.
So he
We
says
realized,
African.
yeah, I realized he was skipping the F. It was kind of jarring for a second.
He's like, because no one said this at home.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we say all sorts of stuff, but we don't say, yeah. The stuff I say is so hardcore. He's like, that'd be like a shock if he picks up on what I'm saying. Because I don't say stupid or anything like that, right?
Okay. You just straight to mother.
Yeah, no, I just like different things.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is an example?
No. No. Stuff that's not okay in society is what I like to say.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Because he's not hearing it then. He has no frame of reference what's happening. He's like, there's no way somebody else can say it.
Right. So you're hoping the confusion of the context.
Don't say the basics, the gateway bad words.
Okay.
Yeah, dumb, stupid.
Okay.
He's now saying stupid. Tom and Jerry say stupid.
Tom and Jerry says stupid?
Dude, Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry's has words? I thought Tom and Jerry's don't have word.
They have
Words.
They'll
Words.
say stupid and like somebody will say stupid, like the owner of the cat or dog.
No, this is a new Tom and Jerry, right?
There, it's the old ones. I found some hyper racist stuff, like just a black lady who's talking like exaggerated black, like it's. And then the middle ones, every now and then some other cats talk, not Tom or Jerry, but they have a cousin who's really jacked up and he has a yellow and black stripes thing. He's only in one episode, but he's like from the streets.
So he says.
Yeah, and there's a lady, another one.
He
She
says
says
jive
stupid.
turkey.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Hey, pussycat, leave my cousin out of this. Like.
That'd be funny if Hudson starts talking like a 1970s street gangster
Dude,
from
yeah.
Harlem. That's what he picks up.
He just got into Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the second movie.
Yeah.
So he picks up on certain things they say in there, and then he'll use it in normal language, and it's quite odd.
Yeah.
We don't like it.
Yeah, just watch some. What would I watch instead? Get him on How to Train Your Dragon. That series is awesome.
He saw one episode, one movie. He's like, okay, no big deal.
Man, I call him to question his tastes.
Yeah, he has an addictive personality. So normally he watches everything like
a dragon is as closest to a dinosaur as we can give you.
You would think so, but yeah, no. I thought so. I put it on.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's kind of like a dinosaur.
Right.
Oh. He watched it. He was like, okay.
Quite frankly, I don't see the fuss.
It's interesting what they get attached to. Ice Age, saw all of them, but there was like two specifically. Watched a ton.
Yeah.
Mulan, but just that one song.
You know who loves the Ice Age?
Who?
My dad.
Mm.
He just showed up one time. And he ends up watching because he was eating and he just watched it. Now, the man's a big fan,
I like it.
right? Whatever he can get attached to.
There's like 5 of them, 5, 6 of them. So.
I didn't even know.
Oh yeah, they're good. One of them, there is like a squirrel, wombat, whatever, and he's explaining to them, hey, what happens to us is every few hundred years, a rock comes and hits, restarts. First it was dinosaurs, now it's the mammals, then it's people.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's this guy doing?
Did he just say people?
Yeah.
Oh, he says people, so he's
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
to see in the future.
Exactly. But I was just like, why is this in the kids movie where it's completely lost on them what's happening?
No, some of those jokes are for the parents that have to watch the show with the kids.
It was way too like progressive for parents. I was just like, damn, squirrel, stay in your lane.
All right. That's been episode 489. Thank you for hanging with us. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Summer's coming. Good night.